Someone decided to join us today. You ready, Belle? Yeah? Okay. It's been a little while since Belle has joined us. We'll see if we can keep her in here. Yes. Are you going to stay for yoga? Huh? I'll try to keep her in view, which is harder on Instagram. Okay. It's because I wasn't here yesterday. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll just wait a minute. Again, for some reason, every time I schedule ahead of time on the YouTube channel, I can't go live when I click on the one that I scheduled, but I can go live if I just do it randomly from my channel. And I tried to figure it out ahead of time today, and it still didn't work. I don't understand. So maybe I just have to figure this out differently for November. So the plan is, of course, now we're in the end of October. This is our last October class, our last chair series. November is going to be standing breathing series. So, and of course, we'll sort of, do the regular body opening stuff. So the whole idea is to release tension through the body and take that into gathering and engaging in a deepened sense of the body, right? So the whole premise of performing poses or asanas in yoga is to be able to be still and meditate with yourself, right? To go deeper inside. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. It doesn't matter how you do it. I mean, there are suggested ways of doing this in many different ways of practicing. And this is one of them, right? So today is welcome to community breathing. I'm Michelle. This is the beginning sequence of Yoga Narada, which used to be called Yoga for Dancers. And it's part of the whole system involved with gyrotonic, sort of a long time ago, the beginning of all that work. So the idea behind this is to move in a way that's more fluid and has a sense of momentum and very organic sense with the breath. It's a little bit more related to a Taoist approach of yoga. So a little bit of a Qigong element and Tai Chi and Hatha yoga, those sort of very strong foundation principles that most people know in yoga. Not to say that's how you have to practice yoga, right? So yoga is cultural style, a cultural style of life, a way of living, a way of sort of believing. And there are many different limbs of yoga, and this is one of them. So we are going to come around to sit in our chair. Let me just make sure everything is in view here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're going to continue with our sense of breathing and letting go of tension and trying to open up the body. So normally we would be sitting on the floor for this portion, but we're doing it in a chair for the whole month of October. So if you want to practice being in a chair, you can't be on the floor. You can go back and look at the videos on the YouTube channel. And they're stored on Instagram too, but maybe easier on the YouTube channel. I really don't care about growing YouTube followers, just archiving. So anyway, let's have a seat with the feet out in front, relaxing into the sits bones, relaxing into the shoulders. And we're just going to breathe into that alignment of the spine, the plumb line, which is a sense of letting go with gravity, right? So a plumb line is the gravitational pull through whatever it is. It could be, I know a lot of people know plumb line maybe from fishing. so we're just going to feel, you drop your line, and it falls down to the bottom if it has some weight to it, right? So we want to find the weight. We want to find the weight of the tail of our spine. So we've got sort of 3 good bony structure components to feel the bottom of the spine. We've got our 2 sitting bones into the pelvis, right? So you just rock a little bit side to side. They're prominent. No matter how much flesh you have there, you'll feel them. We want to feel these bones when we're trying to align posture while sitting. We're working on posture and trying to correct it maybe, or, you don't have to do this all the time, while you're working, but it's nice to be aware of, to shift your position into, and then just relax. Now, what you don't hopefully you don't feel pressing into your chair is the tail end of your spine. So we've got the 2 sits bones and the tail of the spine. Now, if we rock backwards or round our tailbone under, there will be the tail end of your spine in your seat. We don't want to practice aligning the spine to that position in the pelvis, right? So that would be a flexion of the pelvis and of the spine. So, or curling as I relate to it. So we feel nice and propped up over the sits bones. Take your feet out a little bit forward so that you feel that weight distribution without using your legs to help your body balance. We want to really feel the awareness through the tail end. And think of this, I like to think of it like a little teepee with a support in the center. So the spine is the center support, the tail is drawing down, and we have our 2 sitting bones on the sides nice and wide. So there's some energy, effort, and awareness through the tail end, the low back through the tail. It's not just the coccyx bone. It's that whole piece from the lower lumbar all the way down through the tailbone into the coccyx bone. That creates the tail, right? So like when your dog, or probably not your cat, but when your dog wags their tail, they do not always, if you look at them, they're not just wagging their tail without moving other parts, right? So there's something going on there to allow that tail. So now, just let the breath release. Let's take our hands to the top of the head, the crown of the head, and we're going to feel the plumb line from the crown all the way down through the tail end. And just gently close your eyes, relax the shoulders, and breathe into that plumb line. Letting go of your jaw and your chin, letting your neck release, letting your shoulders relax. As you let go into this plumb line, you'll probably feel a little bit more heaviness or prominence into your sits bones and your tail. Now we're going to release the palms, feeling that lightness through the crown of the head. Breath drop down into the base of the pelvis. Letting go of any external thoughts or tensions. And to bring your focus inward. And really sort of listen to your breath, right? And it's not only just listen. So listen is a term that many wellness or yoga practitioners use. But listen may feel still a little external. So you want to feel your breath. The sensation of your breath comes through in your body. You're not just trying to just have a slight presence of hearing it. You want to start to relate to your breath dropping down. We're going to use this breath energy to help us move through the body to release and expand and connect. So now we're going to gently open the eyes. We'll take the palms together, that breath down in the base of the pelvis. We're going to bring that energy up into our hands, taking just some nice deeper breaths as we glide the palms forward and back, relaxing the fingers and letting that release between the fingers come through. So we're bringing up some energy. And then we're going to separate the hands, feeling that nice little buzzing energy in between our palms. We're also going to relate our breath to this energy here. So feel that the breath expands your arms out into the space. And your hands, and you're going to swirl that energy around. So in the space you have to grow into, it's like you're yawning, breathing, and expanding light in any direction. So try to get a sense of feeling that you're connected enough to gently release into all the space you have to. So we're going to feel that expansion up above, down below, around the sides, behind. And you can sort of fall into it and feel very supported from the space and feeling that you're just breathing and releasing through the body. But you can also take a step further and kind of swirl the energy around you. So this creates a totally different sensation, right? So these are elements. You want to feel what feels right for you today or any day. So you don't have to all do the same thing. And then we're going to reach out, gathering energy from the space around through the palms, and taking that through our hands, sensing it over the eyes, over the face, and just breathing into that, and just washing over the face around the eyes, letting the face release, letting the face calm and relax. And then we're going to take our middle fingers and just take a nice exhale, and we're going to massage from the outside above the eyes into the brow bone and up into the hairline. So we're going to exhale, massaging and just feeling that release and opening through the face, and exhale. And you can start to really feel your body, right? So you become aware of, sometimes our faces get a little poofy, like it's where I am, it's really humid. And that adds a little bit more pressure on the body. So this is a way of flushing it through, or maybe invigorating. Now we're going to use our index finger bending. We're going to go underneath the eyes, along the bone again. So the orbital bone, we're going to exhale and flush through. Try to relax your face and then sweep up. So you're literally following that line. And we get a nice flush through the sinuses here. You're giving yourself a nice facial, actually. So you're just trying to open and release and help your body detoxify, right? So every organ in the body has a method of detoxification as a main goal. So all you have to do is help that. We're gonna take our fingertips into the forehead and just scrub up and down, releasing and moving the lymph under the skin. So you can imagine you're just sort of releasing any little lines and flushing through, breathing into it. And then going around to the outside of the eyes, the temples, very lightly taking a nice little soft circular massage. And then relaxing the jaw, we're going to move down in between the upper and lower jaw and just poking a little bit through the fingertips, moving around. And you can go a little bit deeper in here, and you can explore where you feel tension and tightness and just try and breathe into that and let it go. And then up above on the scalp, above the ears, we're going to just do a nice little scrub motion, releasing pressure around your ears through your head. Right? And we'll follow the ears around the back, getting that nice your hands are. So wherever your hands touch your body, we're using breath through our hands. And then we're coming around to the back. And then we're going to take that nice lift. So now the head and the spine meet, right? There's a little crevice there, maybe more, maybe less. So depending on the shape of your alignment and your cervical spine, we're going to do this lateral side-to-side massage. And breathe into your hands and feel that you're expanding and just freeing up a sense of length and opening in that area of your body. Going a little bit wider to the outside towards the ears. And then coming back in close. Now when we come back closer to the spine, we're going to go down the back of the neck and take a nice circular massage along the sides of the spine. Just breathing into that and making our way down. And then eventually getting into the tops of the shoulders. Now we kind of have little claws and we dig into the tissue over top of the shoulders. We're going to exhale and do a nice massage, sweep over the top, and just let it go and shake it off. And then we'll go back in. A nice little exhale, sweep, and let it go. And again, back. And exhale to sweep and release. Now we're going to feel the breath from the pelvis. Interlace the fingers, internally lifting the arms from that support down below. We're going to inhale and lift up. So there's that nice long line to the center of your body, your midline, and we're just lifting up and wiggling a little side to side, breathing through that line, finding the length of the tail and that release through the sits bones. And then coming back through center, we're going to let the tail soften under. Let the tail soften and release as the arms come down. So if you'll notice, the two ends of the spine are reflecting, right? We're going to relax the shoulders, take a nice circular sweep side, find that long tail, and breathe through the side of the ribs. As we come up through the top, just relax through the shoulder blades. We're gliding on the back of the ribs. Exhale, breathe through the other side of the ribs. Now we soften forward and around. And again, so we're going to inhale up. Feel that opening wideness through the chest. Exhale. And round and down. And go, breathe in between the ribs into your intercostals. And exhale and around. Inhale, so the breath comes in and we flow up. Take a new breath and change. We're going to exhale, move the other way. Forward. Inhale, side and up. And exhale, over and rounding forward. Inhale, side and up and over. Exhale and forward and around and up. Now find that midline energy from the base of the spine lifting you, breathing through that lift up through the arms. We're going to separate the fingers and just feel that lift inside as you circle through the hands, through the wrist, breathing through the fingers and opening. We're just kind of moving around and breathing and massaging. As we let the arms drape down, find nice hanging at the bottom. So the arms hang from an open, lengthened chest and spine. The shoulders, when the spine is properly aligned in length, when there's elongation through the spine, the shoulders are placed in alignment, right? So the shoulders hang off the spine. And there's no effort. You don't have to think about it. So now we're going to let that relax. We'll your feet a little bit forward. Let your tailbone round under. We're going to use our fists. And we'll just do a nice drumming and breathing and drum. Using your hands to drum into your back sacrum. You can go into your glutes around the sides, letting go of any holding tension. Breathe through your palms. If you find a place where your body's just not quite letting go, you can just focus on your breath and release through that a little bit with your touch. So that's called idiokinesis when we do that. Another component of the way I like to work and the way I like to teach, right? So now we're going to drum up the sides of the spine, breathing into that and feeling like breathing away from the spine, up towards your ribs, and back down again. And now we're going to take both fists and just drop down the sides of the hips. So we're letting that release and breath come through, feeling that we're just letting go and opening through the body and any of these little sort of crevices, right, that can hold us back. And then we're going to alternate. So we're going to take one side. So it's from the back of your hip and your glutes. So your glute muscles are your posterior hip muscles. We're just going to kind of you're sending the release down towards your feet. We're following the line of circulation here away from the heart. And our body is going to bring everything back up and function hopefully a little bit better. Now we're going to open the palms, and now we do floppy hand. Use the heels of your hands and fluff around the outsides of the legs. Relax your muscles and let them shake around. Want some shaking off the bone, if you will. Just flowing down the sides of the legs where your IT bands are. And we're just kind of lifting up around the legs. Now, while we're seated, I will say it doesn't feel quite as good because you're essentially holding your leg as when we're on the floor. So on the floor, this does feel a little bit more effective, but you know, we can definitely do this seated. Now from here, we're going to come around towards where above the knees, not on the, you can go on the knees, but focus a little bit on where the muscles attach into the joint. Use your fists and just do these little pats where you're breathing and releasing any little tension that's holding on around that joint so that maybe things work a little bit better. Maybe things release and let go. So, you know, you never know what's going on in there, and you can just help it out a little. And now we're going to take our fingertips, taps right onto the kneecap, onto the patella, feeling a nice vibration into the bones. So we want to feel that we're waking up inside the bones because obviously it's alive. It's not just nothing there. So we're going to feel that vibration waking up our nervous system, waking up, you know, any marrow circulation inside. We're going to travel down the shin bones with this tapping. You might get a little reflex as you're going. We're going to go all the way down into the ankles, tap, tap, tap. And tapping, coming back up, the shins again. Feeling that vibration. And you'll feel, you know, if your legs, if you haven't done anything yet today, especially in the winter, you'll feel that this starts to kind of give you a sensation and wake things up. And you can do this as many times as you feel, you know, you don't have to do these things only as long as I do them. You can just stay here for a long time, you know. Now we're going to come back up. We're going to use the heels of the hands again. Now a big flush down the quads. So from the hips down to the knees along our thighs, we're brushing and lengthening and releasing. So again, the breath is traveling through our hands. We're releasing down and out, and follow that shape of your leg, a little bit on the outside and a little bit on the inside. It feels, you know, a big comment I get usually is that it feels lumpy because it's supposed to, because your quadriceps are not just straight, there's a cross. I mean, you can see it in, especially men with really defined legs, you can really see the shape of the quads. So now we're going to come down. I'm going to slightly let my knees drop in with the heels dropping out, loose in the wrists, and then we're going to do a fluffing motion along the outside of the shin bones, our peroneals. So we're just kind of releasing and fluffing around, letting things go there, breathing into that, because these muscles can get tight and kind of play around with the line between your knee and your your ankle. And then from here, we're going to just relax on both sides and just pat along your calf on either side, working down and working back up. You can lift your foot up if you need to, and then change to the other side, patting down. And then just relax. So now from here, there's a whole series on the floor with inching with the feet and all that. It doesn't feel so great all seated. But now let's take a deep breath. We're going to soften the tail. Just find that inside the pelvis. We're going to inhale, let the breath lift you up. So as you take a big inhale, there's an inside lifting feeling. We want to find that lift. And as we exhale, we want to keep the lift and let go of the arms. Just letting. Now we soften the tail, gather the breath again. Inhale up, lift, and exhale, release. And soften again. Breath comes in. And up, and exhale, release. And one more time, breath comes in. So it doesn't matter, we're not lifting from holding tension, we're just floating up and letting go. And now shaking it all out, relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, getting a nice shake through the upper back, releasing, letting that shake move around here. Feeling that you're letting go and finding that fuzzy feeling between the fingers here. And then from here, we're going to interlace the fingers and just move around, squeezing and letting go. You can shift a little forward and back in your palms. And then relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the chest. We're just going to glide around in the wrists, letting go and breathing through any tension that's holding on in the wrists. And then we're going to reverse that, coming back the other way. Just letting go and breathing through the wrist here. And then we're just going to give a gentle little squeeze, a little sort of feeling of traction there. And then out. And then just feeling that we're opening and closing, breathing through the hands, through the center of the palm. So you're going to feel your palm is breathing, your fingers open and drawing them in. Now from here, this open, close, compression, release. We're going to use that concept from with our breath into the whole torso and the arms to expand. So we're going to let the tail soften, let the breath come in to expand and float your body up. So we're going to inhale, expand up. Now compress. We're kind of cleaning things out. We're going to squeeze the fingertips, the toes, the eyes, all of the distal points. We're exhaling and compressing and a really nice deep scoop in the belly. Using breath. Don't try to add the muscles superficially. Use your breath, use your breath, use your breath, use your breath. You're going to exhale until you don't have any more exhale left. As the breath comes in, float like a ladder. Even doing this several times feels so good. We're going to exhale, compress, squeeze out anything you don't need or want anymore. So we're cleansing anything negative out of the body. Keep breathing out, breathing out. It could be physical or emotional. It could be anything. Just keep that breath, pushing it away, making space for new. So the breath expands and floats us up. And again, we're going to exhale, squeeze, start from here and let the breath compress anything you need to release. Feeling that expansion come through. On this last one, we're going to exhale, but this time we're gathering light new energy through the fingertips and toes. Use your breath to draw that lightness and newness into your center. So you're inviting it into your body. Let the breath in, letting the arms up. And just flick away anything that was holding on and left there. So now from here, let's go ahead and relax the shoulders. We're gonna just take, let's actually take a deep breath in and lift the shoulders up. And use compression release. We're gonna gather through the fists. Inhale the whole chest cavity as we inhale, lifts up. We're gonna inhale, float up. As we exhale, let go of the shoulders and let the palms open. I'm going to turn and rotate them a little bit forward. So we're going to inhale, gather from the pelvis to lift your shoulders. And one more time, inhale, pelvis. And release. Now from here, relaxing the arms, relaxing the head over. We're going to exhale and let the hand drop over. And just feeling that we're breathing into that over top of the shoulder, upper back area. So we're letting the breath come through the palm, just kind of gently bouncing the palm off of the body and building or becoming a little bit aware of that area, right? So that's an area that gets really congested and maybe closed off, or even when we're standing up, we're not really aware of it. So yeah, we're also releasing some tension, maybe on the tops of the shoulders. It's whatever feels right for you, whatever feels good. But use the amount of momentum and pressure that feels good. You're not trying to hit yourself or anything like that. You don't want to hurt yourself. Anything that feels like hurt is not correct. That's not what we're trying to do. Now from here, we're going to find that nice release, hang the head, and now massage into the front of the shoulder and just kind of moving around. You can take your hand on your lap if that feels better. So we're just letting that breath release around. And just kind of flushing through the lymph here and then changing to the other side and just gently releasing and hanging through the head. You can let the head move here, feeling that breath letting go. And then we're going to come back through center. Now we're going a little differently today. We're going to take a nice breath, massaging around the sides of the body and the ribs. Inhale. And exhale, release. So we're flushing throughout the whole torso here. Inhale, expand. And exhale, release. We're going down into the front of the hips, into the groin area. We have a lot of lymph nodes here, and we just want to kind of massage there, checking that out. And we're going to come up into the center of the chest where the sternum is, and just do a nice little scrubbing up and down, and breathing into that, letting go of any tension. And it's amazing how there always seems to be something a little more profound about this area, right? So just kind of doing this and scrubbing up and down, and just your whole body sort of melts into letting go of that, or at least it does for me. So there's a lot of, this doesn't have to be super open all the time. If you're really, really open in every way, that's also not balanced. So we need to find a balance that feels right. Now we're going to sweep down through the center, finding that sense of length from the chest into the pelvis and the breath there. And then we're going to open under the ribs, sweeping underneath the side ribs there, breathing into that. And coming back through center and sweeping underneath the other side. And we're coming back through center. So now from here, we did all that release and letting go. We're going to interlace the fingers and come into the bottom back of the head. And for now, just don't worry about where your elbows are. Eventually, you want them to be open. That's not possible for everybody. Let your shoulders relax. That's more important. We want to feel, imagine that you're against a wall and you're breathing into that wall, finding that release through the tail end of your spine. Sometimes when we bring an awareness to the top of the spine, there's always a reaction, a ripple effect through the whole spine. But sometimes there's tension in the low back and the tail that quickly comes through. So while the palms are resting into the back of the head, feel you're breathing into your hands through the back of your head and neck. That means the jaw and the chin let go a little. As we're doing that, feel that the tail end of the spine, the low back, into your sacrum, into your tailbone, are releasing into that gravital plumb line again. So now we have the breath. So it's like we're really against a wall, breathing and expanding through the whole back of the body. A lot of times, people are given exercises against the wall, which are really good. The one thing that doesn't really come through so much is where the head and the neck are. So this is a nice way to kind of get a similar feeling to let go. Now we're going to take that, release in the jaw and chin. Use your hands. Try to relax your head. And just use your hands to sweep up so you get a little traction, a little length feeling, letting go, and let the hands just sweep and open. Now we feel that length travel up through the crown of the head, right? So it's coming up through the top. We want to feel that length internally through the back of the body, but bring it out through our eyes. So we're just going to let the breath come in. And we're going to use our eyes to just scan the room, looking around the room and looking over to the side. Be very aware of your posture, the openness in your posture. As you breathe, there's a light breath that supports scanning around the room to the other side, finding that breath through the vision to open. So this is nice and gentle through the vision. We're going to, again, find the breath and scan the room around over to the other side. This time, feel like you're looking through the walls. You're looking out beyond the space you're in. So we have a nice horizon, open vision, distance. And again, feel that connection internally, feeding all the way out, expanding. Now we're going to let the breath bring our vision back through center. When we come back to center, we're going to gather the breath from the base of the pelvis. Take a deep breath in. Now, as we take that deep breath in, we're going to compress again. We do that compression release. We're going to clench through, lifting up inside the body, but also the eyes. But we don't want to close the throat and the neck, right? So we're going to inhale, feel that internal lift up with the eyes closing, and hold the breath a little bit. Now we're going to exhale, let go, gently opening the eyes. And a nice little sweeping, blinking, brushing around the face and eyes, just sort of clearing out anything that's left. And then just taking some nice light taps with the fingertips all around, breathing into that. Nice little taps, feeling that nice bone vibration here. And then sweep up through the back of the neck into the head, finding the length there, finding that feeling of freedom, releasing, and feel the very top of the spine. We're going to look side to side. Oh, do not do this if you don't feel comfortable. We want to breathe into just a little release, turning the head. So that's what we're doing. We're turning on that. Our first top vertebrae helps us move up and down. The second vertebrae helps us to rotate side to side. So we're just opening that. We're not trying to do anything but free and open that up and release. So let your breath, let the jaw go, because that's connected alignment there. And then just see if you can feel comfortable, that just kind of shaking it out, letting the breath go. And let it slow down gently. And then we'll come into the suture sagittalis, right into the center here, right in the front near the front forehead hairline. We're going to press down, pull apart, release. We'll come a little bit further back, press down, pull apart, release. Right at the crown of the head, press down, pull apart, and release. Now we're going to let the palms open around and down. I'm just going to bring you up onto your feet now. We're just keeping it nice and simple today. We're going to come up and use our chair. We have a little snoring from Yogi Bell over here. I'll show you in a moment. So we're just going to come down here with our hands on your chair, and you're going to take a little step back and let your heels relax into the floor. Let your knees soften a bit so you can get a crease in your hip socket, right? Because we want our pelvis to align with the spine. And then we're just going to find some traction with your knees continuing to soften. Draw your tail and sits bones back and let your arms hang, whatever feels comfortable, and just breathe into that traction where your whole spine is hanging from that tail support. So the tail is drawing back and releasing your spine and your back. And you're just going to breathe into this. So now we have the shoulder blades releasing down into the back of the ribs. We want to feel that breath come in. Now feel to come up out of this, because this is a big stretch. Anytime you have a big stretch, feel that your abdomen lifts up a little into your spine. Now that can help us come forward. We're going to now try to stretch through the knees. And this is a different stretch, not bending in the knees. And we're going to draw the tail back again and find that release. So now it's probably more in your legs and your hamstrings. Hanging, you can go into your forearms and bend here and try that same idea of drawing the tail back and up, and maybe it's just hanging over. Use your chair to support the stretch with your heels relaxed and your feet breathing open. Now again, your abdomen lifts into your spine a little. You sort of pick up your tummy to help your body gather to come out of this. Now from here, we're going to take our hands, if you feel comfortable, off the chair, hang all the way down over the legs, and just breathe into this hang. Hold onto your elbows as you're releasing into this hang. And sometimes you feel a little movement sort of unwinding come through. You don't have to make it happen, but just allow that. It's normal. And just breathe into that hang. Your body's sort of calibrating here. As you find a nice breath that helps you really let go, you're going to feel a breath that just lets go a little more. And after that breath, again, gather the tummy a little bit up. We're lifting the tummy up to roll up. We're going to let go of the elbows. Keep breathing in and up through the tummy along the spine. This lift in the tummy helps the tail drop into that plumb line. And we're just in and up lift along the spine to let the tail release down. And that dropping down and lifting up through here gives us a nice open posture in our chest and our shoulders. And we're just breathing through that, finding the length in the pelvis, finding the openness in the chest, finding the release in the shoulders. So now just let the breath come in, lifting in and up in the shoulders, and exhale, release. What happens in the arms? You can do the clenching again. Inhale. So now we feel that travel all the way down into the depths and let. One more inhale up. And we let it go. Now from here, feel this length in and up and the tail drawing down and out. And just kind of walk a little bit, right? So you're feeling like you're being propelled forward instead of feeling like you're attacking something or going like it's less energy. So you just want to find that nice ease in your body. I hope everyone enjoyed the October chair series. Next week, starting in November, I'm going to start with the standing breathing. And I'll try and post it. I'm really bad at sending reminders. I'm also busier, so we'll see what happens. But I'll keep doing it every Wednesday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And thank you. Everybody have a happy Halloween and be well. We'll give a little, this is one more view of Yogi Bell. This is her constructive rest. Right? Yeah. She's a meditation expert, in case you didn't know. Thank you. Bye. Have a good